Ghost dropped their new album, Skeletá. I can now say I get Ghost. I genuinely really enjoyed this record. I I get it. It is like a romantic sounding rock opera. It sounds like the entire album, just his vocals and just kind of his tone. It sounds like he's like serenading you the entire time. It's very just like I don't know, it's just appealing to listen to. It is such a beautifully done record. I guess just listening, one song at a time. I wasn't able. Honestly, I did like Satanized, the single,
Yeah.
and that is still my favorite track off of the record. I think it is just catchy as shit. I mean, it's upbeat. It's definitely more on the rockier side than the opera side. But honestly, listening to it start to finish, it was just very good. And I was surprised. And not that I dislike Ghost, but it was more so just in the I was never able to really get into them or appreciate them, knowing how important they are in the alternative scene and just how popular they are with just this generation. And just, I mean, I have like fucking three friends who are diehard Ghost fans. So it's like, they have to be good,
Yeah.
right? I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, we consciously decided to give Ghost one last swing with this upcoming, well, now out, but at the time upcoming album, the new record. Because if you go back in the archives and you listen to us talk about Ghost in the past, we didn't like it.
No.
And it mainly just boiled down to they look one way, so they should sound that way.
Sleep token.
Yeah, and it pisses us off that they don't sound that way, so we don't like it, and we're not going to listen to it the way that it should be. Happy to say we have both matured and decided to listen to it the way that the band says we should listen to it, and not the way we want them to sound.
It's crazy, right?
Isn't that
crazy
wild?
how that works.
Yes.
Yeah.
So went into this rollout with a completely open mind, was digging the couple of singles, and was excited to hear the full album. And it is super cool. It's definitely a kind of sound that for me personally, I have to be in the right mindset to listen to, because if I'm not, it can very quickly kind of get like droning in a sense, like droning on, and just kind of feel like it's never going to end. And I do feel like there's points mainly in the middle of the record where it does get to, like, the album opens with the first like 4 songs, where it's very big, it's very rock centric, and it's moving, it's grooving, I'm feeling good. It opens with Peacefield, which is a slow starting track, but it makes sense for an intro, especially a band like Ghost. I wasn't going to write it off. I also knew that we were going to get into the 2 singles, which I both really enjoyed, especially Satanized. I really dig that song. That song fucks. So, knowing that we were going to get into those 2 songs, and then Guiding Lights was a pleasant surprise as another song I really enjoyed. But then the middle of the record gets a little on the slower side, a little drony at points. Not for, like, there's no one song on this album where I'm like, that's a skip. But there are certain songs, there are certain moments in these songs that are in the middle of the record, that I'm like, God damn, like, this song could be condensed by 30 seconds or whatever. But then I feel like it picks up again with Marks of the Evil One, which is just kind of picks back up on the more rock focused type stuff and finishes off the album quite nice. And then it finishes off with Exilus, which is a 6-minute long song that, again, makes sense for the kind of band that Ghost is, and to close off this album in a beautiful way. Overall, man, I'm fucking stoked on this record, because I didn't know what to expect. Like, the couple of singles they were I can see why they were singles. They are absolutely a little bit more of that mass appeal.
They got our asses.
They got us guilty as charged. The singles worked.
Right.
Got us excited for the album when we have notoriously not been excited for whatever Ghost is going to do. So mission accomplished there. But yeah, man, they really knocked this one out of the park. Like I said, after we were talking about the last single, I was like, heard that song, and then I was looking at Ghost tickets. The only thing that really puts me off at this point about seeing Ghost is the whole phone-free experience thing, and it's just because like I don't want to be at a show for several hours and like not have any access to my phone. I also like to be able to, I spend money to be there. I want to have some sort of memory that isn't up here. I got enough stuff.
Or that you have to spend $60 to take home with you.
Yeah, exactly.
Hoodie.
Yeah, I got enough going on in my head, trying to remember exactly how the concert was. That ain't gonna last. So I like to have something that I can go back and look, even if it's a couple of just Instagram story videos. So that's kind of a slight turn off for me. I'm sold on this record. I like this album, but I still have a whole discography to go through. Some of which that I wrote off because I'm an asshole.
Oh, or maybe we were onto something and they just did really good with this record, because I'm like, maybe this was the band we were reviewing before, Maybe they heard that and they got better.
But they really knocked this album out of the park. I really enjoyed it. I'm glad to have turned a new leaf. Like I said, they're going on tour. Peep the dates. I'm sure they put on a phenomenal performance. They wouldn't have the kind of fan base they do if they didn't. They did one of those like record store listening parties, and the record store by my house never has to like do RSVP. Like you can just show up. Like even they did like all the big records get the record store day or the record store pre listening party experience, and they did the new Tate McRae and things like that, and these artists are fucking huge. And Ghost is the first time I've seen them put up an RSVP because they were getting so many calls and texts and emails and DMs about it that they were like we're gonna hit capacity if we just leave the door open. So and then the RSVPs filled up like the post went up 2 hours. I saw the post 2 hours after it was put up and the RSVPs were already full. Not that I had any intentions of going. I wanted to see. I wanted to see, and the RSVPs were already full. So the fandom that this band has would show me that the live show ain't bad. So
can't be that bad,
take the word of the millions of fans they have and peep the dates. Gloria and I haven't personally seen the show yet, but I'll let
clips.
I'll let the millions of people that like this band vouch for it.
Yeah, fucking 8 million, 9 million, I think. Yeah. Should be good. Should be good.